Welcome everyone to Reclaiming Joy, a midlife awakening. I'm Uma Joy, and I am your host. I'm here today with Jill SImpson. Welcome to all of you who have been here before, and to the new ones, to all of you alike. Make this your time. We're so happy that you're taking this time for you, honoring yourself. It's so easy to put everything else first and not do that. So make sure that you get everything that you need, whether it's a drink, water, tea, wine, whatever your drink of choice is. Let everyone know not to interrupt you. This is your time. Turn off your phone and make sure that you have your journal, a writing utensil, and a Kleenex. You'll want a Kleenex today. Not for tears necessarily, though. So before we get going, I want to take just a moment to ground for all of us. And so if you're in a place you're comfortable with closing your eyes, I invite you to do so. Just taking a few deep breaths. Just becoming present to the here and now. Letting go of anything before this moment, anything to come later. Noticing what your body feels like. There's nothing you need to do to change it. Just noticing. And becoming present to the sweetness of this moment. How fortunate we are to have this moment. Great. Once again, welcome. Our guest today is Jill SImpson. Jill is a professional coach that has her business wildly well balanced. She is an avid yoga practitioner and is currently a yoga teacher in training. A world traveler, often found on the opposite side of the globe. She is a corporate trainer and works with people who are destined to live and or work abroad. Currently, she lives in Boise, Idaho, and teaches Italian on the side for fun. We are delighted to have Jill with us today, a really wonderful human being, a really beautiful woman. Welcome, Jill. I'm so glad you're here.
Uma, it is such a delight to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me and having us all here to gather. Just a wonderful experience. And to all of you who are here, who found yourself here today to reclaim your joy, to find your voice. Perhaps your friend just sent you a link and you 5 minutes ago found yourself here. Whatever brings you here today is so perfect. And it is such an honor to be able to come and have an experience with you. So I am going to talk today a bit about purpose. The question, what is your purpose, has been one that I have struggled with a bit in my life. It has felt so big and sometimes daunting, and I could get caught up in the wondering of what am I here for, and who am I, and am I doing all that I was meant to do? And I found that there were others like that as well, whether we're in college or whether we're in a career, asking ourselves these questions. If we are mothers, if we're just retired, if we're divorced, whatever our situation is, oftentimes we ask ourselves, what's my purpose? It was recently, through my yoga studies, that the concept of Dharma was introduced to me. And as I learned more about Dharma, I began to soften up around the question of what's my purpose, because I was able to look at it in a different way. So Dharma, a side note here, a little disclaimer, comes from the ancient language of Sanskrit, which was written or spoken in Northwest India nearly 4,000 years ago. So there's, needless to say, not a direct translation into our English language of Dharma. But for sake of time and simplicity of describing, I chose a definition given by the Hindu philosophy, which at the same time, there are various definitions to Dharma in the many Indian philosophies and religion. For this conversation though, to apply it also to purpose, Dharma is the order that makes life and the universe possible. It's the order that makes life and the universe possible. And so pondering this, I concluded that, well, life and the universe then are not dependent of each other. And there's an order that has to take place for these two entities to exist. And we as human beings are life, and life is part of us. And so this order has to exist for us to exist. So I started looking at this approach of what's my purpose with this concept of Dharma, and realizing that that order had to be there in order for us to be here. It is something that is within us and that has always been with us from the time of conception. We may argue or contemplate other lives and other Dharma, but again, for sake of simplicity today and looking at our life as it is today, I found great comfort in approaching what's my purpose with what has already been in me and within me since the time of conception. So today, I'm going to lead us through a couple of exercises, and keeping this in mind, our purpose, our Dharma, our purpose might be something that we're looking at right now, right today. And our Dharma is still with us, but it's something that has always been with us, that sometimes in life we forget what that has been or was. So I'm going to lead us through first a breathing exercise to get us into a meditative state. And then we will do a journaling exercise. And then we'll wrap up from there. So I would like you to have your journal real near you so that when we're through with the breathing exercise, you can have that to get real quickly, and we'll move on into some 10 questions, essentially 10 questions that I will ask you. I ask of you to really just free flow with your writing. Maybe consider really the first thing that comes to your mind. No judgment, no changing things. Just jot on paper the first thing that comes to your mind for the journaling exercise. The breathing exercise that we're going to do today is called Anuloma Viloma, or alternate nostril breathing. So a couple of things. Before we get started, you will want to take your Kleenex and blow your nose. If you have any sinus issues or you have a cold today, I would not suggest doing this breathing. That's okay. Just find your own breath, your own meditative breath, whatever that is for you, and join us in that way. We will be doing this breathing exercise for approximately 6 minutes. Okay, so I want you to take your right hand, hold it out here in front of your face, and give me the peace sign. Now reverse your fingers, peace sign goes down, and your other fingers come out. And if that's a little awkward, because we don't usually hang out with our hands this way, just kind of move it around. And now you're going to take your hand and turn it towards your face. Your right thumb is going to cover your right nostril. And as we get going, your right thumb always covers and uncovers your right nostril, and your ring finger will cover and uncover your left nostril. So the movement is back and forth like this. Some people find it more comfortably to take these two fingers, your index finger and middle finger, and put it in between your eyes at your third eye, and you can do the movement as such as well. Whatever is most comfortable for you. If at any time during this breathing you feel lightheaded or dizzy, just stop and continue breathing on your own. It is a relaxing, focusing, meditative breath. So that's where it's meant to go. Though if it's the first time you've done it, it could feel a little awkward. And if it does, just stop and continue on your own breathing, and I'll let you know when we're done. So I'm going to instruct us for about half of the time, about 3.5 minutes. And then you can do the second part on your own. And then I'll tell us when to stop, and we'll grab our journals after that. Okay. So, and one more thing. If you feel comfortable, close your eyes. If you don't feel comfortable closing your eyes, just soften your gaze. It's whatever feels best to you. Okay, we'll start by closing your right nostril and inhale your left nostril. Close your left nostril, exhale your right nostril. Inhale right nostril, close, exhale left. Inhale left, close, exhale right. Inhale right, close, exhale left. Inhale left, close, exhale right. Inhale right, close, exhale left. Inhale left, close, exhale right. Inhale right, close, exhale left. Inhale left, close, exhale right. Inhale right, close, exhale left. Inhale left, close, exhale right. Inhale right, close, exhale left. Inhale right, close, exhale left. Right, I'm sorry. Inhale right, close, exhale left. Inhale left, close, exhale right. Continue on your own. Thirty more seconds. Ten. And when you finish with an exhale on your left nostril, release your hands. Take 3 cleansing breaths in your nose and out your mouth. Gently open your eyes if you haven't already. Take your journal, something to write with. I'm going to ask you 10 questions. I'll ask you each question twice. And with the permission of a client of mine, I am also going to offer you the answer that she gave me for some guidance. The first question is, imagine yourself as a young child. You're laughing, you're feeling free, you're playful. What are you doing? Imagine yourself as a young child. You're happy, free, laughing, and playful. What are you doing? My client wrote playing with friends outside. Number 2, what are 3 words that your closest friends would use to describe you? What are 3 words that your closest friends would use to describe you? My client said patient, organized, and fun. Number 3, what is something that you excel in easily or more quickly than others? What is something that you excel in more easily or quickly or more easily than others? My client said studying and learning foreign languages. Number 4, what is something that you can spend hours doing with not once checking the time? What is something you can spend hours doing without once checking the time? My client said talking to friends and family about life. Number 5, if money were no issue, what is something that you would love to do for work? If money were no issue, what is something that you would love to do for work? My client said teach water skiing. Number 6, what is something that 2 or more people have come to you asking your advice for? What is something that 2 or more people have come to you asking your advice for? And my client said, how to get along with my mother. Number 7, of anyone in the world, someone that you know or not, who do you admire or are inspired by? Anyone in the world who you know or do not, who do you admire or are inspired by? My client said her grandmother. Question number 8. List 3 qualities about this person that you admire or are inspired by. List 3 qualities about this person that you admire or are inspired by. My client said she's authentic, wise, and kind. Number 9. Would you use any of these words to describe yourself? And number 10, would your closest friends use one or more of these words to describe yourself, to describe you? The client that I used was actually myself when I did this exercise a while back. And question number 9, I said no. And then question number 10, I said yes. And herein lied a bit of a nugget for me to recognize that I hope you see already, that there's a theme in our answers. And the theme is that there are already places in our life and places in us where we are living our purpose and we are living our dharma. And sometimes, frequently enough, because we may be busy or because we have our mind and the chatter in there, we don't see it as clearly. But it is there. It is there every day. And it is to be celebrated. And I find that it's the celebration part that sometimes we overlook. And so in doing this exercise, I hope that you see the theme and that you realize in what you are doing and who you are is already who you have already been. And you are living on purpose. There are pieces and places in yourself and in your life that is aligned with your purpose and in line with your dharma. And it requires us to first recognize that, and then, even more importantly, celebrate it. Take the time to celebrate your joy, your purpose, your qualities, what you are doing, what you are offering, what you are sharing. Celebrate that, nurture it, and it will provide more. You'll get to do more of that. You'll feel more joy. You'll feel more complete in your voice and your purpose. So to wrap up, bridging purpose and dharma, they go together. Maybe one is more outside, and we think, what am I doing? Am I doing enough? Am I in line with my purpose? But our dharma is what we already came in with, and it's an order that allows us to exist. And so it does go in alignment with who you are and what you are offering today. Recognize those places in your life, in yourself, in your relationships. Celebrate it, nurture it, store it for the times when you will need to draw from it, and realize that sometimes it just takes slowing down a bit to recognize and feel what is already there. Much joy to you all, and I thank you for being a part of this, and that I have given you something that you can reflect on and see the pieces of joy that's already in you and that always has been.
Great. Thank you so much, Jill. Thank you. There were such lovely points in that. You know, years back, part of my background is as a yoga teacher. There were a number of years that I was co-owner in a yoga center in Southern California. And the breath is vital. You know, we can live without food, we can live without water, but we can't live very long without the breath. And when we become connected to it and keep those channels opening, it's so powerful. Stopping and taking that time to just be present. I mean, I noticed in myself, because, you know, I'm guilty, as many of us are, in not taking the time for me that I deserve, that I'm working on changing. I'm on my path just as we all are.
Yeah.
And when we just stop and take that moment, and it was a delight right now to say, yes, okay, there's nothing else to do right now than this present moment. And so to have that time that you let us with the breath, that was beautiful. I really enjoyed it.
Great. Thank you. It's so true. And our breath it's always there. So we can always use it as a tool, as a reminder to stop and recognize and be present.
We don't have to go get the equipment, the things to wear, all the different stuff to prepare. That instead of doing it, all we have to do is just sit down, even if it starts with one breath. Because if I do one, geez, before I know it, I've done 2 or 3, etc.
Yeah.
And I liked the 10 questions. It was very, very sweet to see, the 8, 9, 10, who and why, and would my friends say that about me? And then I looked back up as to the number 2, and I was like, oh, there's some nice consistency there, which was really sweet. And to remember to take that time to celebrate ourselves. We don't do that. We very often don't celebrate the little pieces, we think, oh, to celebrate it needs to be something big. And it's no. Each moment, each thing, we can celebrate ourselves. And when we think about, dharma and purpose, so often it seems that people get really caught up that, my purpose has to be big. And, it's being present in that moment, connected, and wherever it goes. So I just so appreciate the things that you brought up for us. Yeah, I found it very valuable. Thank you.
Well, you're very welcome. It's been my pleasure.
So Jill has a free gift for us. I appreciate that. And it is called Controlling to Compelling. So Jill, will you tell us about that, please?
Yes, absolutely. So Controlling to Compelling is an article about 4 or 5 pages that I wrote addressing our big to-do lists, our busy lives, and writing our list and checking it off, and always in the doing, kind of the active energy, which is masculine, and really the benefit of this gift is it allows you and encourages you, challenges us, especially as women, to bring in more feminine energy, to bring in the receptivity, the ease, together to still accomplish all that we need to do, but to do it in a way that is more feminine, and that I have found in the end, then everything still gets done that we need, but we feel better, we feel lighter, and we have actually more time at the end of the day. So it's a gift offering 3 tips on how to bring more feminine energy into your life.
Wonderful, wonderful. I know I run around with my lists and got to check it off, and so that sounds really delightful.
Great.
I know that I am on my way to get, the link is right below us, to go to Jill's website and claim our free gift. I invite you to do that. I encourage you to do that, because very often as women, we do that. We just have all of these things got to go, rather than having some softness.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's it. We can do it with softness.
Yeah, I like that. Wonderful.
Yeah.
All right. Once again, Jill SImpson, I so thank you for being with us. It's a delight to have you here today. I love what you brought to us and offered to our wonderful participants, viewers, beloveds. There are so many lovely words that we have for all of you. Very much appreciation for you taking time with us. And truly, the most is, I'm so grateful that you took the time for yourself. Thank you for being with us. I look forward to next time. Thank you again, Jill. Namaste.
Namaste.